be presenting or whatever, and then I'll go from there. Up to you.
Okay. And Angie is presenting on Living Green. So take it away, Angie.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us today for Lunch for Life. Thank you for the invitation, Kimball, as well. So I'm Angie Ciroli. My business is Green Health First. You can see my my banner in the background. So a little about me. I actually am part of a military family. My husband is retired Army. My son is in the Navy. We have had a journey, of course, through all the challenges of military life, but also with my career. I went through education in chemistry and chemie and started my career in environmental engineering and consulting. And that was just a great career for about 10 years. I really enjoyed it, but I really wanted the opportunity to make a more direct impact. And so I started looking at other avenues, and my older brother was and is in the pharmaceutical arena. And he's now a manager for a biotech firm, a district manager or what have you. But I always had like 20 questions for him, you know, when we would get together, just understanding what they do and all. And back then, you know, industry was done differently. And of course, my my understanding of the industry was that I would have a more direct impact because I would be able to, as a pharmaceutical sales rep, talk with doctors and nurses and, you know, help them understand how things work in the body. Sorry about that. And so so I transitioned into pharmaceutical sales, and I was in pharmaceutical sales for about 8 years. And my aha moment for changing from that, because it was not at all what I thought it was going to be. We were really more like a UPS driver dropping off samples, you know, for the doctors and stuff. And we really didn't have a chance to make much of an impact and help people learn about the products and understand, you know, how they work in the body. So I actually transitioned with the military to Hawaii and lived in Hawaii for a couple of years and ended up moving to a new company, and then got laid off by that company because they were bought out. And I was introduced to the green tea Hawaii products, and I brought those back thinking that's going to be a hobby. I'm going to continue to do other things in the pharma world. And that wasn't God's intent for me. So as I started getting out into the world of health, doing runs and cycling events and all kinds of sports events with these products, I was introduced to doing health fairs, and that's when I was introduced to essential oils. So I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to pick up from there where I am now to help you understand really what I do. And let's see, I need to. All right, so I know I need to make this. Let's see, how do I make this my whole screen?
Okay, but what you want to do is under your PowerPoint is hit view.
Is hit what?
Hit view and then make it a slideshow.
Oh, okay, thank you. So you can see there. All right, view, slide master, I guess. Okay. Okay, I think that's working.
Okay.
Is that covering your whole screen, or is that just actually nothing's coming up on mine?
It's not showing anything now. Before it was showing. It's just it is PowerPoint. If you go under view, it usually gives you the chance to make it a slideshow. That's what you want, and then it'll show one at a time.
Yeah, I'm looking under view. I'll stop this up.
And
I'm sorry. We probably,
I use a Mac, so mine may not be. On mine, I just go into view and hit slideshow.
you. Yeah, it
Yep.
says slide master, but it doesn't say slide show.
Oh.
So,
Well, you can go that way. It'll take us down. We can see very well.
okay. I was trying to see how do I just go to full screen, but I don't see that either. Sorry, guys. So yeah, I mean, the slides are pretty big, right? So 2 Cups Green TOI is what I started with when I started my own business and decided I was going to be an entrepreneur. And that is what I do business as, but my overall business is actually a Hawaiian name called Mauka Makai Ventures. And I chose that because Mauka means mountain and Makai means sea. And I love both. So, so I figure, you know, from the mountains to the sea is where I want to be able to help people. As I started doing the health fairs and I learned about essential oils and started learning more about therapeutic properties, I was perplexed because the company that I use oils with is doTERRA, and you can't manipulate any of the websites there to have your own information. You can go to their blog, but you can't, you know, do anything. So I set up this new website called Green Health First. And so that's my current name in my business. My whole passion is to help empower and equip people to make better choices with natural resources. So whether it's our foods or whether it's different other plants that we have centuries of documented data on how they help us, it is a it is a resource that I will help research and help people find what will work for them. And so the first slide I have here is just to help you understand, and of course to set the stage that, you know, the first wealth is health. And, just to think about is your nutrition and exercise routine resulting in your health goals. There's so many things we can do for our health. There's lots of alternative modalities. We have so many options that actually have being brought into the traditional Western medicine now. And you can see some of them here. Reflexology is one of the things that I do teach about. I don't actually do reflexology, but to help people understand those nerve endings that we have in our hands or on our feet, all over our bodies that we can affect changes in other areas by manipulating those nerve endings. Of course, we can use essential oils on those nerve endings. The medical field definitely is embracing a number of these. I know with the many systems that we have, medical systems we have around North Carolina, that many of them are embracing a lot of alternative modalities. So, you know, again, for every drug that benefits a patient, there's a natural substance that can achieve the same effect. And there's so many things we can do differently. We know, and many of you have probably seen this Hippocrates quote, that, you know, food is medicine, let our medicine be our food. And so we know we need to eat whole food. We don't want to have a diet that is based in processed foods. The main thing that is really important, many people have learned about antioxidants, obviously. And you can see at the top of the slide here, many of our herbs and spices that have great antioxidant power. One of the more powerful antioxidants comes from green tea, EGCG. So when we can get our antioxidant load high, then we're going to be able to affect the change in our bodies for a number of different issues that we might be dealing with health-wise, from heart disease issues to memory, to anxiety and stress, and even things like cancer. Green tea is, like I said, I started with that product line, and this is a really powerful green tea product line that I have that it is coupled with a daily serving of noni. Noni is a Polynesian superfruit that they've used in the cancer world for decades. So very, very good for you. Just doesn't taste so good. So in combination with the green tea, we're able to have flavors that are very nice tasting. So what I usually find from a lot of people is that they do not like green tea. So it's a matter of finding one you like. And this actually gives you 45 cups of green tea in the serving that you'd put in 20 to 24 ounces of water. And that is showing that it's antioxidant driven and not caffeine or sugar, because as you can see, the caffeine level is 2 grams or less for the whole serving, which makes it still safe for diabetics, which is so important because a lot of people don't realize that cardiovascular profile of green tea. It has very strong benefits for blood sugar regulation. And then also the caffeine level being very low, the same as about a half cup of coffee, or the same as 1 tea bag, a typical tea bag of green tea. So, so you're looking at powerful antioxidants that can really help your body. So again, it's just a matter of finding a product that works for you, that you can simply make part of your everyday routine to help you for whatever that purpose may be. And you can address many, many things with just something as simple as green tea and noni. As well, noni's been used in the cancer world, not only because of its immune boosting benefits, but also because it is something that will help settle the tummy. And green tea has those types of benefits as well. When I, as I mentioned, started in health fairs, that's when I learned about essential oils. And essential oils just really opened my eyes to what we have naturally. The essential oil is the immune system of the plant. So it is what makes that plant thrive. It's what helps that plant to live. The aroma that is given off through the essential oil, through those aromatic compounds, actually is what helps protect the plant. It helps keep it from being attacked by, insects and invaders, mold and mildew, things like that. But it also helps for us, that aroma can help in so many different ways, whether it's, to help with anxiety and stress, or to address another issue of our body. The brain, when it is natural and it is introduced through those olfactory nerves, the brain will recognize it within about 4 seconds. And it will be able to go, oh, I know what this is. I know how to use this. I know where I need to take it. So you may have an intention for what you're wanting to use a particular plant for, an essential oil or the aromatherapy, but your body may say, well, I need to use it here too. And that's the wonderful thing about all the therapeutic properties that each plant can bring us and that are documented in our medical literature. When we do have 100% natural plant-derived essential oil, it is 50 to 70 times more powerful than any daily serving of something that we might get. So whether it's an herb, a spice, or a fruit that we normally think of for an application or a typical serving, we're getting 50 to 70 times that amount with just one to 3 drops of an essential oil, which is what we educate and help people understand is our general serving. So depending on the plant and how God made that plant, it can be in any part of that plant. And it should be derived by steam distillation or by cold compression, not with chemicals. We do have extracts that are typically in our food area that are usually extracted by alcohol. So many times you'll see alcohol on a label for those, but those are still safe for ingestion, which is key, without added chemicals. So as I mentioned, aromatherapy is being embraced in many areas of the country. Over 800 hospitals nationwide now will use aromatherapy. And as I mentioned, these are some of the reasons why, because within 4 seconds, it's going to affect the heart rate, the blood pressure, your breathing in and out. It can really slow it down if you've gotten really anxious and you're taking really shallow breaths. The aromatherapy can help you slow down and breathe more deep breaths to get you back into balance. It can help with memory and, of course, our emotions and our stress. So there was a study that was done about 10 years ago, actually about 11 now, at Vanderbilt Hospital, and Nurse McBride here, she worked in the ER, and she wanted to show how aromatherapy can be very beneficial. So she actually set up a study that surveyed people before the study started, and she worked to show them, the questions basically indicated, all around stress and anxiety, because she was working in the ER. So she wanted to show them things that they could use, which per the research, the documentation shows that all of our citrus oils have very strong antidepressant properties. So they are going to be those oils that will be diffused in the ER for that month's time during the study. And so she published the results, and she gave a survey after as well. And you can see here all the oils that they were allowed to use and diffuse throughout the 24-hour span, and each shift was able to choose whatever they wanted. Lemon, orange, lime, grapefruit, and a citrus blend were used. And the results were so compelling that that's the reason we have more than 800 hospitals now using aromatherapy as one of those alternative modalities. This is one of the results that was given and documented, which I thought was just amazing. When you look at people who said, yes, they do experience work-related stress very often, and of course in the ER you would expect that to be really high, where this is only 41%, but we have to also keep in mind what the baseline is. Many people who work in, and I know Kimball can probably attest to this, being a nurse too, when you work in an environment, you have a different baseline on what your tolerance is and what causes you to have stress. So so that's why it may be a little lower than some of us may think of. Yes, people who are coming into the ER with issues are going to have very high stress levels, where people who are working there trying to help them calm down are going to have lower baselines. But you can see after the month of use, they actually had only 3% say that they were had experienced stress very often. Another benefit that came out of this was, by using those citrus oils, they're very invigorating, and when they're able to lift those heavy emotions, those depressing emotions, they actually had more energy. So this question here shows that the energy increased considerably from the beginning of the study to the end of the study using the citrus oils in the ER. They now use most of the time, if they're diffusing, they're more consistent in most health facilities to use them in the ER and also in the post-surgical areas. So because people coming out of anesthesia usually are kind of anxious. But we do have several, I have nurses in my group that work at the Durham VA, and they have several different departments that are diffusing essential oils, and even our cancer department. So I just wanted you to see some of the properties that are listed for our fruits. And you can see it covers a wide range, and there are a couple of our fruits that actually have anti-inflammatory properties, which you really wouldn't think of with our fruits. Certainly things like antibacterial, antiseptic, antifungal, anti-infectious. Even many of them have anti-cancer documentation, and that's because of the D-limonene levels in those. But all of them are so good for that, helping boost that immune system, helping with cleanse, getting rid of toxins and impurities, but also helping with emotional balance. There are lots of different qualities of essential oils out there, and this is just something to be aware of. The FDA only requires to label an essential oil pure or even 100% pure. They only require it to contain 10% of what the label says. So if it says it's orange and it's pure orange, it could only be 10% orange, and the rest could be a mixture of whatever. It could be a mixture with coconut oil, which is one of our typical carrier oils, very good for your body, but it's just not 100% orange. The other thing is that the definition of pure on the FDA website does not distinguish between pure natural derived or pure synthetic. So that's why many times with many of our brands out there, you're going to see in that directions for use section, you're going to see it say on there for external use only or not for internal use. So I try to help people have that aha moment when we talk about this to understand, well, you know, if it's from a plant we know we can ingest, a fruit, a spice, or an herb, then why wouldn't it be ingestible? Because it is that immune system of the plant. When we eat the fresh plant, we get it. I know we're not getting it in the quantity or the concentration that's in the essential oil, which is why, again, we say per application, it's 1 to 3 drops. So when it says that, that to me is a red flag to say, okay, what else is in it? Why can't I take this internally? And then the other thing to note is that many of them will say therapeutic, but again, they'll still say on there, not for internal use or for external use only. So something just to be aware of when you're looking at the different brands that are available is that grade. The certified pure therapeutic grade is the grade that is established with doTERRA, because there is a series of about 54 tests that are done on every essential oil that's derived. And then we have a third party that does testing as well. And they typically will do 7 tests to look down to that chemical level to ensure that whatever's documented is 100% plant derived and not anything inserted synthetically. The market standard for essential oils and testing is to do 3 tests. It's just to do 3 tests. So many times they cannot look really to that chemical level to ensure you're getting what you think you're getting. As I mentioned, there's so many different ways to use the essential oils on the body, and aromatically we talked about, and breathing them in with a diffuser, but this is just a great way to look at the reflex points on our feet and how we can affect changes in other places. So if you're not really fond of a particular smell, you can absolutely use the essential oils on the bottom of the feet. They have the biggest pores in the body, and it's going to take about 30 seconds to get into the bloodstream from there. So if let's say our digestive blend, you're not as fond of the fennel or the anise smell, which is more like a black licorice, you can use the essential oil on the bottom of your feet, not have to smell it so much, but still have good results in getting relief that you need for your stomach discomfort or your digestive discomfort. And then, of course, a lot of people know that you can use lavender for calming the brain down, and most people will put that lavender on the bottom of the big toe to help shut that brain down when they're trying to relax to go to sleep. So those are other places to think about. We can talk about many other ways you can use essential oils, and certainly there's lots of questions, I'm sure, on other, on the arena as far as alternative modalities in essential oils and green tea and what I do. But I know we are limited in time. So I wanted just to show my information on the last screen here again. And I can take any questions if you would like. If anybody has questions for me. I will stop sharing my screen, maybe. Let's move this down. There we are. Okay, Kimball, does anybody have any questions, or anybody want to open up?
Angie, what is your favorite oil? I'm curious.
Well, my go-to is actually peppermint, because when I was first introduced to essential oils, I was having a hot flash. And so I was introduced to a drop of peppermint and a drop of orange on my hand, rubbed them together, breathed it in, and then rubbed it on the back of my neck. And within 30 seconds, my hot flash was gone. And I was just flabbergasted at how wonderfully that worked. And also because I was in the pharmaceutical world, I was flabbergasted that I'd never heard of essential oils, and they'd been around for centuries. So that's kind of my go-to. I use it for a lot of different things. I'll put it in my water. It's great for cooling. Obviously, peppermint is very good for digestion. That's why we have peppermint candies when we go to restaurants. People don't realize that. They think it's more breath, but tummy. So that's kind of my go-to. I have lots of favorites, but yeah, peppermint's good for headaches and pain too. Great analgesic and anti-inflammatory properties.
It is. Very good.
Yeah. Anybody else have any other questions? Any questions from me personally as far as who I am, what I do, or?
Well, not a question, but I did pick up some of your the green tea, the little packets at
Yes.
Fleet Feet.
Oh,
And
good.
yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, I need more of that in my life.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
such a great product. I just had a gentleman who works out at one of the health centers, and of course they're not open. And he's been buying the tea for a couple of months, and he said, "I finally decided I'm going to double up and do my 2 a day." And he was trying to start losing weight. He says, "Well," he said, "I really hadn't lost much weight yet, but I also figured I gained weight because I've been stuck inside, not being able to work out." He says, "So I think it's still helping me. It's just that I'm not seeing that weight loss like I wanted to." But what he did see was about 20 to 25 points drop in his blood pressure. And he says, "This was awesome." He says, "Because I am going to try to see if I can back down on what I'm on, and see if, if I continue this." And he loves it. He takes it before 2 different meals, and that's what you should do if you are interested in losing weight. That's the reason I named my product, my first line as far as my business, 2 cups green tea OA, is it takes 2 pixies or 2 servings to help with weight loss. And you're thinking about that antioxidant power helping you burn fat, which is what God designed EGCG to do. That antioxidant in there. So yeah, I would love to help you get it. We do have a 10% off code on our website, and it does apply to if you get multiple boxes. So it'll be an additional 10% off. I can certainly meet up with you if you'd like to get them personally. I always give 10% off too when I do that. You can get a mixture, and I can customize. I'm so glad you saw them there. I've been wanting to get by Fleet Feet to find out how they're doing, because I know they haven't been selling them because nobody's been coming to the stores.
Yeah.
And they're in all 3 Fleet Feet stores. They're in a couple of pharmacies. I'm just now getting them into Fuquay. We should be in the Juice House in Fuquay downtown this week, so they should be available there too.
Well, I'll be in touch.
Okay, perfect. Is there a particular flavor you like best, Luann?
It's been a few months because I haven't been to Fleet Feet, but I think that there was like a raspberry one that I liked.
Yeah, raspberry lemonade. That's my favorite.
But the grapefruit one, they were all pretty good.
Yeah. People are really surprised at the grapefruit. I have a lot of people that try it, kind of reluctantly, but it's just so refreshing.
Yeah.
And grapefruit is one of our wonderful metabolism supporting oils, for essential oils and stuff like that. So when you get that with your green tea, you get a double dose of something that's going to help you with that metabolism and help your body burn what you want. So hopefully you see results in weight change.
Okay.
Grapefruit is really good, but grapefruit is one that you have to be careful with if you're on any medications.
Yeah.
I know for
Okay.
blood pressure. Mm-hmm.
Well, for others too, heart medicines and different things. If you're on, you just need to make sure that any prescription medicines don't have a warning against grapefruit, because it changes things.
That's true. I know, having worked in the cardiovascular world, that the big thing, and you're a nurse, so I know you've read it and you've been a part of it. But the big thing that that was always emphasized with us is that, you don't take grapefruit or have grapefruit when you're having your medicine, because it does go through the same metabolism pathway. So it could cause that medicine not to be processed like it needs to work for your body. But it also had indicated that you need to drink like a good, I think it was 8 or 16 ounces of grapefruit or something, and a juice. And a lot of people don't drink that much. So that's the other caution. And of course, if you use the essential oil, that is not the same as the juice, and it's not going to be metabolized the same. So I am not sure. I don't know the data out there, but I'm not sure that would be an issue, to use.
I don't think it would be an issue because you're bypassing the liver if you're putting on topically, but I think it would be orally because it's still going to be broken down by the liver.
Okay. Yeah, because when you use it topically, it's going straight into the bloodstream.
Right.
Yeah. Cece, did you have a question? You're
muted. Cece, you're muted.
You're muted.
Sorry.
Very good.
Okay. Hi. That was my question actually. So with the grapefruit, I wanted to know if the essential oils. So I understand if you ingest it, it's the same. But what if you just inhale it?
No,
Should not be an
not
issue.
passing the
Okay.
liver. You're not going in through the liver.
Right. It's going to
Okay.
be going into the bloodstream. Yeah.
Got it. And then my other question was, did I hear you say that the green tea, one serving is 20, you mix it in 20 to 24 ounces
Yes.
of liquid, of water? 20
That's
to
what we
24?
recommend.
Okay.
Yeah. And you can put them in smoothies or shakes if you like.
So
you
it's one.
out.
Okay. And so it's one packet in 20 to 24 ounces.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. That's what I recommend because a lot of people, you know, I think it says on the packet 8 to 16 ounces, but a lot of people just don't like how sweet it can be. And again, it only has 2 grams of sugar or less. And then like 50 to 90 milligrams of stevia. So we do that purposely because of how green tea helps to regulate blood sugar. So we want to make sure the products are safe for our diabetics population to be able to use them.
Oh, so it's sugar and stevia? A combination.
Yeah, it's a combination.
Okay.
Yeah, we had started the product had started, and I'm saying we because I was there when they launched it, but I don't have anything to do with the recipe and who and you know, the owner and all. But they had started with just cane sugar, but it would take so much cane sugar to modulate that flavor of the noni that they knew they had to back down and do a combo so that they could keep the content low. And be able to make it available for many different uses in our health issues. Yeah, so I like it in about 24 ounces myself because I don't like it so sweet. And that's the nice thing about it is it's a powder, so you can mix it however you like. You can do a half a pixie if you want, or you could, you know, just put it in more water or smoothie.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and it's equivalent to 45 tea bags or antioxidants. So over 450 milligrams of antioxidants per serving is what you're getting. But
So
still, caffeine. Go ahead.
One other question. So if I'm doing something else that has a lot of antioxidants in it as well, maybe this is a question for you, Kimball. Do you just, for want of a better word, pee what you don't need out? Like is there any chance of overdosing on any of the vitamins or anything in it?
No, you don't. You will never overdose on antioxidants. We all need more antioxidants. And
the more we can get, the better.
Okay, good.
Right. You know, the problem is that we have so much stress on our bodies, and we have so many free radicals. And free radicals lead to aging and cancer and heart disease and all the bad stuff. So you just will never get too many antioxidants. Now there is one caveat to that. If you are on chemotherapy, you have to be careful. And most cancer docs will tell you that when you're on chemotherapy, they don't want you to have antioxidants because antioxidants will bind with the chemotherapy and pull it right out of the body because it's poison.
Yeah.
But that's not really true. There's some immunotherapy out there now, and that really builds up the immune system. And I love the thought of that. In fact, it's a real bigaboo with me right now. And I will tell you that if I get cancer and I were on chemo, there's things I wouldn't do. I have a friend that was on cancer being treated for cancer last year, and they wouldn't let her eat any green vegetables, no fruits. They told her to eat nothing but processed foods.
Oh my goodness.
Because it would interact it would harm her. It would keep the chemotherapy from working well. And I was like, this is the craziest thing because chemotherapy is really napalm. And sometimes that's what it calls for. I mean, everybody has to look at that individually, but yeah, that's a real, you know, that's one of those things to look at. So that would be the only time is if somebody is on chemotherapy, then they need to be aware of that because it can pull it out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's also, you know, when you're looking at cancer, cancer and yeast, there are lots of different types, and different things like sugar can feed it. You know, so
always feeds every cancer. It's why when they're going to put the radioactive substance in the body to find out where it is, they mix it with sugar water because the minute it gets into the blood, it goes right there and it lights cancer like Christmas.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting.
So yeah, sugar is not our friends, but the amount of sugar that you're talking about, 2 grams, that is okay. That is not enough that's going to cause any kind of problem. The problem is that used to individuals ate 20 pounds or less a year, and now most Americans eat 225 pounds of sugar a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
If you
Yeah.
had,
It's crazy how much sugar
if you
people
had a
intake.
pancreas the size of your liver, you wouldn't be able to take care of that.
Yeah. So yeah, that is something that I try to teach about, especially when I started with the green teas and I was doing all the sports type of events, was just to help moms understand, how much sugar and salt are in these energy drinks, these Gatorades, these Monsters, these Powerades, and how this actually makes your body do the work instead of you relying on sugar and caffeine for that, energy and that metabolism boost. So, it's building healthy habits when the kids are little to keep them having those habits when they are older. And I didn't know about it when my kids were young. My kids are 23 and 26 now. So I'm just like, and they lived on Gatorade. They were very, very active in soccer and trampoline, and they burned all of it. But the problem with a lot of these things today is kids aren't being active and they're still drinking all that. And how does their body process it? No wonder they're so hyperactive many times, and they have attention issues. But,
Yeah.
So that was kind of my goals as I set out
We
on what I
lead the
do.
world in obesity. We lead the world.
Say that again.
And we lead the world in obesity in the United States. And
Oh,
it's interesting because when I heard a public health researcher from Minnesota, he was talking in November before we got bad here with the coronavirus, but he said that when it got to the United States, that we would have a harder time with it than any of the other countries because we had a higher number of people who were obese and diabetic, and that those two markers. And I mean, it's amazing the people that I've seen. I mean, one guy down in Fayetteville, he lost 100 pounds when he was in the hospital with a month with it. 100 pounds in 1 month. And he was still not a little guy, but I mean, and it really goes back to sugar. Sugar is poison.
yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, when you think about it too, when you do have both of those issues going on, it is such a strain on your respiratory system. And where does COVID go to that respiratory system? So that only makes sense, that.
Well, immune health is building our immune systems is the most important thing that we do, and teaching our kids how to do that. And you did a great job, Angie. I really enjoyed your presentation.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And we do have an immune boosting oil blend called On Guard that has orange clove, cinnamon, eucalyptus, and rosemary. And that actually they had to limit our purchasing of it because it was out of stock for so long because everybody wanted to make sure they had it had some on hand. And now they're still limiting how much we buy of it. But the orange clove, cinnamon, eucalyptus, and rosemary combination, they actually use that in a big spray bottle of water to clean MRSA from an operating table. And for 7 days, MRSA would not grow. They tested every day. On the 4th day, they reintroduced MRSA, and still they had no growth until that 7th day of that with just the one cleaning. So that's what I make my hand cleaners with. That's what I've done for 6 plus years now. And that's what I sell at the farmers markets, is that in my hand cleaners. But I do have other blends, people have asked me to make and stuff too. So, so just know there's so many things out there that will help us boost our immune system.
And I wanted to let you all know, Martin Brosman spoke last week on Alignable, and tonight is the Alignable meet and greet, and it's at 5:30. And if you go on Facebook to the Raleigh Alignable meet and greet, there's a link where you can sign up for it. And that's always a good networking event. It'll be from 5:30 to 6:30. And the cool thing is that there's people there from Ohio and New York and all over the place that come in through the Alignable. I really enjoyed this presentation last week, and I did some work with Alignable this week, and I met some really interesting people that way. I think I might like Alignable better so far I've had a better experience with Alignable than I have with LinkedIn.
Okay. Does Alignable do that meet and greet? Are they going to do it like frequently?
They do it once a month, and they've been doing that. He joined forces with Bill Davis. Bill Davis had done a monthly networking event. Oh gosh, probably for at least 15 years. And so Martin and he joined together, and for at least the last 2 years. In fact, Martin created the meet and greet offline. And now Alignable is doing those at other places in the United States, just like they're doing them here. And of course, you have to change or die. And so when the pandemic came, we put it online, and it's gone really, really well. In fact, I'm going to be honest, I've been going to that for about 2 years, and I really enjoy doing it online, maybe better than I did in person. Yeah, I've actually made more contacts with it since it went online, which is
Okay.
kind of interesting. And I but we are pulling in a lot more people than we were when it was just, when it was in person.
Uh-huh. So will they do this meet and greet the last Tuesday of each month? Is that
It's the last Tuesday of each month at 5:30.
Okay, good to know. I've got a Rotary meeting this evening, so I can't attend it, but I'd like to. So, but I didn't realize they had a meet and greet, so I'll have to go online. And yeah, I just am not on Facebook all that often. I have a Facebook page. It's the 2 Cups Green Tea Hawaii, but I just do not get on. I don't have enough time in my hours of the day to get and be able to network that way or what have you. So, but thanks for letting us know about that.
All righty, guys. Well, and Jeff said every Sunday I do Wind Down, Energize Up, and it's just an hour. It's networking, but it's just kind of really laid back. There's no presentation. There's just like that. Gives you a chance to get to know some other people. Donna brings the chickens. All kinds of animals that join us, and we usually have some very entertaining conversation, I think.
Nice.
So, good way to end your weekends and get ready for the next week. It's every Sunday at 6.
6 p.m.
6 p.m. And that's on Wellness Solutions Today. It's Facebook, and you got to change. And
That's on the Facebook page, Wellness Solutions Today.
on Wellness Solutions Today Facebook page. That's right.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that was my problem. Was I didn't think to look at the Facebook page to get the link, and or the invitation, and so I was looking for an email. See, that's my old school.
Well, we're all having to change for this new world that we live in, and it will all be good. It will all be good.
It will all be good. I agree.
Cece?
I'm just looking. I'm on my phone. I couldn't log on the computer, so everything's tiny. But
Oops.
Cece, we can't hear you. You're muted.
Sorry, guys. I was saying I was on my phone because I couldn't log on to my computer, so everything is so tiny, and I wanted the website to order the green tea. So what is it?
What is your website, Angie?
So it's the number 2 cupsgreenteahawaii.com.
Okay.
2 cupsgreenteahawaii.com. And do you want me to share the screen one more time because it's up on the screen?
Yes, please.
Since she does that, you can just take a screenshot of it and have it.
Okay.
Maybe.
Good idea.
There you go.
All right. Thank you. I got it.
And the Facebook page, the 2 Cups Green Tea Hawaii, that's where I kind of post articles and tips and things like that, because I just didn't start a new Facebook page for Green Health First. I don't know, maybe I should, but I kind of, that's my business Facebook page. What do you think, Kimball? Should I start a new one?
I don't know. Gary V, and he is the guru of Facebook and social media marketing. He says you ought to have 5 or 6 different pages and post content.
Yeah.
I can't quite keep up with. I mean, I've got enough because I've got Wellness Solutions Today, and I've got this Lunch for Life I keep up with, and that be pretty busy, but Gary V would say, yep, do it.
Oh goodness, yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't have postings on there even every day for this. So trying to keep up with all that, it's just it's tough. So I guess I need to maybe get one of those virtual assistants, huh?
There's always a lot to be done.
Yes, yes, for sure. Yeah, but glad to share with you guys today. I hope you learned a lot. I hope that there's some clarity that was brought with you know, what I do, but also what we have available in our natural resources, our gifts of the earth, and essential oils.
All righty, ladies, it's been very nice. I hope you'll come back next week and share this with some other people. We'd love to see more people on, and I will be hope to see you next week.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kimball. Be well.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye-bye.
Nice to meet you. Bye.